So you finally asked her out?
I don't think I handled it very well, but yes, we have a date.
You don't seem very pleased about it, James.
I'm still not sure that Helen wants to come out with me.
Well, she accepted, didn't she?
I don't think I gave her much chance to refuse.
Really, James, you must have more confidence in yourself.
It's not a question of confidence. I'm just not sure that the time is right, that's all.
Well, you've taken the plunge now, my boy. So what's your plan?
Plan?
Yes, plan. Now, in my experience, the first date with a woman is the make or break time. It's the event that separates the winners from the also-rans. And you do want to succeed, don't you, James?
Yes, of course.
Well, success doesn't just happen, you know. It has to be planned. Have you decided where to take her?
Well, not yet.
Believe me, James, you're headed for trouble if you persist in this casual attitude.
Where do you suggest I take her then?
Well, it must be somewhere special. Somewhere she'll never forget, you agree?
Yes. But Darrowby doesn't exactly glitter with nightlife, does it?
Forget Darrowby. No, you take her out of town. In fact, James, take her to the Reniston.
The Reniston?
It's only the most luxurious hotel outside of London.
Aye.
Take her to the dinner dance there. It's a brilliant idea.
I don't think I can afford your brilliant ideas, Tris.
Say it cost you a packet, so what? At least Helen will know you're a man of some refinement, not some yokel vet with carbolic in his veins. Quiet, you pack of greedy muckmakers, or you all stay hungry! The sooner we get rid of that lot, the better. This whole experiment in home-raised bacon is a washout.
Siegfried thinks we should be self-sufficient.
Oh, well, see, Siegfried is full of bright ideas. He doesn't have to look after the greedy little beck.
James, I've got some driving for you. What's that smell? All right, James, when you're ready, please.
Siegfried nailed up that sign and banged his thumb with a hammer. If he catches you smoking in here...
If, my boy, if... Siegfried, you see, lacks the basic cunning. You'll have to get up pretty early in the day to catch me.
Caught you. Right, little brother, your tribulations are about to begin. Now, let's see. Ah, yes, the pigsty. I think a thorough mucking out is called for.
But it's your turn to muck out.
Not anymore. You know the rules. No smoking in the surgery.
What about you? You're smoking, aren't you?
It's an entirely different matter. I'm simply passing through. Come on, James. Off we go.
It's all right, Elfie. It's all right. Now, what are you doing all the way out here, eh? Hmm? What are you doing all the way out here? You're lost, aren't you? Let me take a look at your paw. It's got Elfie. Come on. We better get those paws seen to. Up we go, Elfie. There we go. That's it. Come on. Oh. Good dog. Oh.
He's a grand little dog, James. What on earth are we going to do with him? Send him down to the police kennels, of course, but then if he's not claimed, we're back where we started, aren't we?
Couldn't we ask round the practice?
Yeah, the trouble is, nobody seems to want a dog and there's one going spare.
Exactly. He was dumped, wasn't he? Oh, that makes me so angry.
I'll tell you who would take him in. Sister Rose from the Topley Banks Hospital.
Sister Rose?
They did a spread on her in the local rag, something about her caring for stray animals in her spare time.
Oh, dear Tristan, she's got up a sort of voluntary animal shelter, James. This should be right up her street. They're curious, aren't they? You've got tricky wood one end of the scale and this little blighter at the other. That's all I'll do. I'll give Sister Rose a buzz straight away.
Nothing. There we go. Little beggar's all in.
He'll be as right as rain as soon as he's slept it off.
Tell me, James, have you spoken to Helen?
Yes, that's it.
I rang her this morning.
The Reniston's on, then?
Yes?
Atta boy! How did she react?
Well, pretty oddly now I think of it. Kept asking if I was sure I wanted to go there.
You see, she's impressed.
That wasn't quite the feeling I got. More like she was questioning my sanity, and with very good reason. You realise this little do is going to put me in hot for about a month's wages, don't you?
So it cost you a packet, so what? Just think of the fun you'll have. You and Helen full of lobster thermidor, smooching to all that oozy music.
Well, that reminds me, do I have to book for this dinner dance?
No, you just turn up on the night. You'll need the right kind of gear, though. Have you got some?
Yes. Hope it's all right. Haven't worn it for years.
Don't worry, my boy.
Goodbye.
Got it made.
Good morning. Is Mr. Farnan in?
He's a breakfast man.
Could you tell him Sister Rose from the animal shelter is here, please?
Oh, would you come in?
Hey, I told you all, price of pig meat's gone up again. Cleverest thing we ever did, buying that litter of pigs. I take it you do not agree.
You should try looking after them sometime.
No rubbish. Anybody with half a brain could cope.
Sister Rose to see you, Mr. Farnan.
Ah, it'll be for you, James.
Right. If you think that, why don't you look after them?
Trouble with you, Tristan, is that you lack a positive approach.
Good morning. Sister Rose. James Herriot.
Oh, yes. Mr. Farnan said you found the dog.
Yes, he was sitting on the edge of the top road to Broughton. His pads are torn, but otherwise he's in fine shape.
He had no identification.
No, and we checked with the police. There was no report that he was missing.
Well, he certainly seems to be well looked after.
Yes. There are no obvious signs of cruelty or neglect. Do you think you'll be able to find a home for him?
Oh, I'm sure we will. At least we'll have a jolly good try at it.
With all your work at the hospital, it amazes me that you find time to cope with stray animals.
Well, someone has to do it, Mr. Herriot. In my case, it started when I found a pregnant bitch who'd been dumped from a moving car. Finding homes for the puppies, I suppose people came to assume that I was in the business of waifs and strays. And once involved, there's simply no going back.
But how on earth do you manage to feed them all?
Oh, I run little dog shows. Coffee mornings, jumble sales, anything to bring in a little extra cash.
Even so, it can't be easy.
Well, my charges do have a habit of munching themselves into the red. But we manage.
I'm very grateful to you for taking him in. Come on, old thing. Up we go. That's it.
Pip. I think I'll call him Pip, Mr. Herriot. It helps if they have a name. Pip. 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 Right, you little pipsqueak. Time we were off.
I hope you managed to find a home for him.
I'm sure we'll have no trouble. Goodbye, Mr. Herriot.
Goodbye.
Perfect.
Perfect. The wretched thing doesn't fit. It's too late to hire one.
Nonsense. You look marvellous.
My word, James, you look out for the kill tonight. You know what I know?
He's giving Helen Alderson a whirl.
Right, that's what all those secret confabs of little brother here were about. I proved, James. But be warned, many are called but few are chosen with that particular young lady.
Thank you for those few encouraging words, Siegfried.
Well, I must be off. Promised Mother I'd look in tonight. Good luck, James.
Thank you.
Because we need it. Go, boy. Stop now.
Well, I better be off too, Tris.
Have you got everything? Cash for tips, checkbook?
Yes, everything.
Now remember, confidence, assurance, but above all, boldness. And the day, if not the night, is yours.
I only wish that...
Hello, Helen. I'm not too early, am I?
No, of course not.
What a wretched evening.
Yes. But shall we go?
I'm sorry. Yes, of course.
You
roads?
There's a bit of flooding here and there. Nothing to worry about. We're off then. Cold?
No, not really. Just a bit of a draft.
I've been meaning to get those floorboards fixed.
Fine, really.
At least it stopped raining. Puncture, I think.
Yes, it seems so.
Oh.
Are you all right? Oh. What are you going to do?
Mend the puncture?
I mean about those shoes of yours.
I'm not sure there's anything I can do.
You'll have to change them.
I can't. It's the only pair I've got.
You can't wear them, James. They're soaking wet.
It's all right, Helen. I'll mend the puncture, take them off, and they'll dry out before we get to the Reniston. You'll see.
Don't be absurd, James. Mend the puncture and we'll go back home. My father has a pair of dress shoes you can borrow.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How are the shoes?
Fine, fine. They pinch just a trifle, but they're fine. I don't think they're suitable, then.
Well, at least they're dry.
It's very odd, but we seem to be the only people here in evening clothes. Waiter, we'd like to book for the dinner dance, please.
Dinner dance? You must be mistaken, sir. Dinner dances do not commence until September, unless by special arrangement.
But Tristan said.
Doesn't matter, James.
Your table is ready.
At least we can eat. You do want to eat, don't you?
We might as well.
I mean, you do want to stay?
Certainly. If I'm still invited.
Yes. Yes, of course. Thank you very much. Thank you. Siegfried!
James! Fancy seeing you, Helen.
Hello, Mr.
How are you? You look absolutely devastating. You watch out for this canny young Scots colleague of mine. Still waters run deep, you know. My word, James, no earth you wearing on your feet.
It's a long story.
Well, I mustn't dawdle. I promised to look in on Mother, so have the most enormous fun.
Thank you.
What an extraordinary chance seeing you. Jill, come with me. I tell you what we'll do. We'll have a drink. Why don't you?
Shall we go in? There we are.
You booked, sir?
No, I'm sorry. We'd like a table for two, please.
You are staying, sir.
Staying? Yes. Yes, we're staying, aren't we? Yes.
This way, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Your room number, if you please, sir.
Room number?
You are staying, sir.
Oh, That's staying. No, we're staying to eat, that is.
Not staying.
No.
Perhaps you would care to order, sir?
Yes. Well, let's see.
Yours, I believe, sir.
It's too painful, Tris.
Really?
I just don't want to talk about it.
Rubbish. Of course you do. Now tell me what went wrong.
Just about everything.
But it was a perfectly planned and executed offensive.
It was a disaster. I shouldn't have asked her out.
Then let's examine what went wrong. Now tell me, how did you part when you took her home?
Somewhat silently.
Well, not even a goodnight kiss?
I can remember a handshake.
A handshake? James, this is 1937. Handshakes went out with a Gladstone bag.
Let's just face it, Tristan, she doesn't fancy me.
It's as bad as that.
Worse, you and your non-existent dinner dances.
Oh, we mustn't brood, must we?
I just want to forget all about it.
Well, so you shall. I personally shall see to it.
How?
Just leave it to me.
What on earth's all that?
Siegfried's inspecting our hand-reared bacon.
Siegfried!
What have I done?
What the hell do you think you're doing sitting around in here while I'm outside there being trampled to death by your pigs?
Oh, my pigs.
What happened?
They're gone. Stampeded. Running wild. Even now, savaging the inhabitants of Derby. That's what's happened, and it's entirely his fault.
Mine? I have not moved from here all morning.
Exactly. You should have been out there.
But they're your pigs. You bought them.
In that case, I shall unbuy them. Now get out there and get them back, and when you've done that, sell the lot.
With pleasure.
What are you doing, James? Don't be silly. James, you know the gypsy encampment down by the river?
Yes?
I want you to get out there as soon as you're finished up here. There's a pony needs looking at.
You're much better with horses than I am, Siegfried.
Yes, I know, but I got too much on. And this seems urgent. Chap's name is Milet. Now make absolutely sure that you get paid. These chaps are never in the same place 2 days running.
Fair enough. Something wrong, Siegfried?
God help us, James. You've the faintest idea how much that stuff costs per foot. That dusting powder you're so generously chucking about, there must be half a pound inside that dog.
I'm sorry, Siegfried. I was just doing what I thought was right.
Yes, of course you are. And don't think I don't appreciate it, James, but one of these days you're going to have your own practice. And then you'll very soon learn about the economic side of things. So be a good fella and watch it. All right? Yes? Good. Oh, God, look at this. Damn boy. Mrs. Hall!
Hello, Alan. Hello there, Jill. Open the gate, please. Mr. Myatt?
Aye.
James Herriot. I believe you have a sick pony here.
You'll be the vet then.
That's right. Thanks. Thanks, Mr. Myatt. Now, may I see the pony, please?
Over in paddock.
All right, come on. Let's see if we can get him to move. Come on. Oh! Oh! All right, leave it. I'll give him a shot of something to ease the pain.
He will get well, won't he, sir?
We'll do what we can for him.
Anything I can do?
You can soak his feet in cold water. You can dose him with this every 4 hours.
I've seen horses lose their hoofs and die of this sickness. It's the children, Mr. Harriet.
Yes, I know. I'll have a look at him again tomorrow.
All the pigs, they grunt and howl, the dogs bark, wow, the cats meow. Everybody makes a row down on Jollity Farm.
You sound happy.
It's a glorious day, James. The very last supper for that pack of evil muckmakers.
Oh, they're going then?
Yes, it's all arranged. They're on a one-way trip to the bacon factory.
Life here won't be the same without them.
James, please. It really is for the best.
Yes, I know, but somehow I'll miss them. Won't you?
Yes. Still, domestic harmony is one thing and bacon quite another. And ne'er the twain shall meet. Oh, by the way, before I forget, it's all fixed up for Saturday night.
What's all fixed up?
You are. We all are. We're going to that young farmer's dance at Poulton.
Now, wait a minute. What's all this wee business?
You know Brenda?
Well, the nurse you knock around with, yes.
I fixed you up with her mate, Connie.
A blind date? Forget it.
I'll stop flapping. Now, believe me, James, it's just what you need. There's no sense in mooning about over Helen. Well, you show her, my boy. Others are keen, even if she's not. Besides, you're like Connie. She's heard all about you, and she's raring to go.
Oh. What's she like?
Wait and see. Right, you greedy pigs. For the last time, come and get it. Come and get it.
From Myatt?
Oh, that's very good. Well done, you.
He's a nice bloke, Siegfried.
Mm-hmm.
Very concerned about his animal.
What's the trouble?
It's the worst case of laminitis I've ever seen. Couldn't move the pony at all. It's obviously going through hell.
Acute laminitis, not much hope then.
Oh, we tried all the usual things, but it didn't make any difference, damn it. Even if it survives the acute stage, it's bound to end up with deformed feet, grooved hooves, dropped cells, a lot.
Yes, of course it is.
Wish to God there was something we could do.
Well, till the present state of our knowledge improves, I'm afraid there isn't very much.
I was hoping that you could do something, Siegfried.
Huh?
You do have a special way with horses. And
When are you going out again?
tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Well, there is one thing I could try.
What's that?
Ah, that not tell you, you'd probably disapprove. Ha! Right, down things right here.
That'll be 8-5. All right, Sister Rose. Will you outline? I'll see if I can find him.
Oh, no, I did get out of the room. Yeah,
Mr. Elliot, Sister Rose on phone for you.
Oh. Take it for me, would you, Tris, please?
Right you are.
What is this, Siegfried? Your own animal inquisition kit?
Belongs to old Grant, my predecessor. Not much call for this sort of thing in these scientific days. Ah!
A fleam, Siegfried. You're not going to bleed mites, Purdy. That sort of treatment went out with the ark.
No, James, don't knock me about the head. You said yourself the usual treatments hadn't worked.
Have you ever used this sort of thing before?
Yes, that's right.
And?
Well, there's no telling what may happen, but curious things can when you use this little outfit.
Yes.
Sister Rose is very upset, James.
What's wrong?
That stray dog you found. Well, she's been keeping it in the house, and today it found an open window.
Oh, no.
Well, I told her we'd alert the local people to keep their eyes open for it.
Poor little beggar.
Never mind, James, can't win them all. Just have to see what we can do with Mike's pony.
Any change, Mr. Mite?
No, no change.
Well, let's have a look at him, shall we? Thank you.
Hello, you two.
Right then, Mr. Mite. Let's see what we can do. The rope, James. Right then, old boy. Go away. There you go. Take a hank of that, will you? James. Tighten the rope, James. That's it. There we go. Back on the rope.
Is that it?
That's it.
Doesn't seem to have made any difference.
Well, it'll take a little while to work.
If it works.
It's in the lap of the gods now. Right. Stitch it up, if you please, James. What the devil are you up to, James?
Up to? What do you mean?
Messing about with little bits of gear like that.
You mean my new economy measures?
Economy? You out of your mind? Here, get out of the way. Cotton wool. Spider. Sorry to push you out like that, James, but honestly, you were like an old hen, fussing about with those piddling amounts of materials.
Siegfried, you said quite
No
clearly...
excuses, James. Believe me, in this game you have to operate with, well, with a certain amount of panache. Good point.
Siegfried, cast your mind back to our conversation in the
Never
surgery
mind
when
about
you...
the past, James. It's the future that we're interested in. You Scots, I know you have an obsession about thrift. But there are limits.
You're impossible.
Evening, Mr. Elliot. Had a good day?
Awful, thank you, Mrs. Hall.
I'm sorry about that.
You're back late, James?
Let's just say it's been one of those days. I have a bone to pick with Siegfried about some so-called docile cows he sent me to see. Where is he?
I'm still in the surgery. Anyway, you all set for tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night?
Yes, tomorrow night. Saturday, remember?
Oh, yes. It's the dance, isn't it? You sure it's a good idea, Tris?
Well, you can't back out now. Girls would have my guts for garters.
Yes, I suppose so.
Marvellous. I say, James, you're not still mooning about over Helen, are you?
Well, she hasn't entirely been out of my mind.
Put it down to experience. You know she's got another bloke, don't you?
Richard Edmondson?
Yes.
Well, I've seen them together a couple of times. She's never indicated he's anything special.
You know, a lot of people have predicted those two might make a go of it one of these days.
No, I didn't, though.
Well, certainly Helen's father would like to see things move in that direction. Old Edmondson's filthy rich, you know.
Well, you can't blame him for that.
Well, I only remind you so that forewarned is forearmed, so to speak. Cheers.
I didn't think that anyone as attractive as Helen could be footloose and fancy-free. Cheers.
He thinks he's having to believe you stopping. So he keeps stopping. So don't he?
Hello, Mr. Myers.
Just thought we'd say goodbye, Mr. Harriet. We're leaving now.
How's the pony?
He's still a bit stiff, but he's on men.
Good.
Me and children would like to thank you both for what you did.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good luck.
I'd have lost that pony, but for you, Siegfried.
I hadn't a clue how it'd work.
But it worked.
Well, all good vets are really witch doctors at heart, you know.
He'll be much better now, Mrs. Halroyd. Here you are, Billy boy. Time you were going home. Thank you. Bye-bye.
One more case, James. Couple called Tenderleaf.
We'll show him interest, then he can go.
Mr. and Mrs. Fenderleaf. Yes. Come in, please.
Come on.
Thank you. I won't give you a moment.
But you're not Mr. Farnan, Mr. Siegfried Farnan, are you?
James Herriot, his junior colleague.
Thank you.
Well, we'd rather hope to see Mr. Farnan in person.
I'm afraid Mr. Farnan's out on morning calls. Can I help?
Well, I take it you are properly qualified, Mr. Harriet.
Of course.
It's just that we want the best advice for our dog here, you see.
Well, let's see what we can do.
Come on, boy, up you come. There we go. That's a good dog.
Well, he seems to be in very good condition.
We'd like you to give him a most thorough check-up, Mr. Harriet.
Have you had him long?
Oh, just a matter of some days. That's why we're here. You see, I have to confess, my wife and I have never owned an animal before.
May I ask where you got him?
Locally, Mr. Harriet. Now, if I may continue, I believe in doing things thoroughly.
Yes.
And with that view in mind, I've made a few notes on the subject of dog keeping. Now, number one, yes, would you please diagnose the brown mark on his abdomen?
Oh, that's nothing. Just a patch of pigmentation, Mr. Pentleaf.
Number two, kindly inoculate against distemper and associated diseases.
He has already been inoculated.
And how, pray, do you come to that conclusion?
I did it myself not 5 days ago. I think I should tell you both that I do know this dog.
I see. Then you will know that we took him in as a stray.
Oh, yes, and I know where he strayed from.
Dear. I told you, my dear. He was bound to belong to someone. Mr. Harriet, my wife and I are childless. And now that we're both pensioned off, so to speak, well, we had it in mind to buy a dog of our own. Then this little chap came along.
He found us, Mr. Harriet, followed us home on our walk.
To be quite frank, we've become rather fond of him. So much so that we were prepared to keep him. But of course it's absurd. He must be returned to his owners. You agree, my dear?
Would you both like to keep him?
But you just
No,
said...
I said that I knew where he'd strayed from. That's not absolutely true. You see, before he strayed, this dog, Pip, he was in an animal shelter. And he was, in fact, looking for a home.
Oh, dear.
He'll find one with us, Mr. Harriet. You have my word on it.
Well, we'll have to clear it with Sister Rose at the animal shelter. But I'm sure she'll be very happy to let you have him.
Oh.
Mr. Harriet? James?
Oh. Hello.
Hello. I wanted to ring and thank you for our night out.
I thought you might want to forget about it.
It was great fun.
Oh, really?
Of course. It had its moments of disaster, though, didn't it?
Too many.
How's the work?
Oh, fine. Though I don't think the local people would agree.
Yes. They take a bit of getting used to, don't they?
Yes.
Well, I better be off. Thank you again, James.
Oh, Helen,
Yes?
perhaps we could do it again sometime. Go out, I mean.
That would be lovely. Goodbye, James.
Goodbye, Helen. Now, this isn't the dance hall.
This establishment is the home of the finest draft ale in Yorkshire.
Trissy! Could you show me where the ladies is?
Oh, the ladies, yes. Now, it's through that door. You turn left in the first large field you come to. Off you go, we'll set them up for you.
Come on, Connie.
Well, James, what do you think?
Well, she's a bit overpowering, isn't she?
Oh, generous is the word I'd choose, James, both in proportion and inclination. Sit down, I'll order the drinks.
Right.
Now then, Mr. Farnham, are you very well?
Never better, Mr. Worley. Perhaps you'd be kind enough to bring us 2 pints and 2 halves of your best.
Right up, Mr. Farnham.
Evening, gents.
Evening. How do you do?
Prepare yourself for the experience of a lifetime.
Oh, well.
Find what you wanted, ladies.
It's the biggest, coldest lab in the world out there.
Mrs. told me all about you, James.
Nothing too drastic, I hope.
But he didn't tell me you were shy.
Shy.
Why, James, that's fast work. Oh.
You look after my girlfriend, James Harriet, or you'll get what for.
Oh, rather.
man.
No.
Bravo! You, Mr. Worley, are an artist. I salute you. And keep them coming, if you please.
I'll see you inside, Richard.
Lovely. Okay.
What are you staring at?
You.
What's so special about me?
You're beautiful.
Now you are. And now, shh, and for my friends, my very special friends, my version of the Mad Conductor.
I would like to take this opportunity to say that in the whole of Yorkshire, there is no finer gentleman than T. Farnan, Esquire.
You honour me, old friend.
My stumbling sentences cannot express.
Too kind.
It's a privilege. It's a rare privilege.
You two have finished rubbing noses. Could I have another drink?
Yes, yes. Beer, beer, glorious beer. Filling ourselves right up to here, up to here.
Mr. Worley, if you please. Your attention, please. Signor Mussolini conducts the neurasthenic strings. Me.
Yes, right.
There we go. Forward, please.
Forward!
Drink and drink. My brother's practice for drink. My Really so. This is Brandy, and this is George.
Come on, Tristan. Tuck in.
James, she's here.
What?
Hang on, she's here, James.
James. Hello, James.
Oh, Helen, it's you.
Richard, I think you know James Harriet, don't you?
Yes, of course. Hello, Harriet.
Hello.
Brenda, where are you?
Oh.
So, no, don't touch it, 'cause you'll cut your...
Cut off tangle bud.
Oh,
There.
oh dear, I don't feel queer.
Helen?
I think you ought to look after your friend, James.
Helen, I must explain.
So long, old boy.
Good night, James.